In a world addicted to measuring, scrolling, and comparing, it's easy to lose yourself. One minute you feel proud of your progress. The next, you see someone younger, richer, stronger, more successful. And suddenly, your fire dims. Doubt creeps in. You start questioning everything, but this isn't how the Stoic lives. This is how the weak live, those without clarity, without center. The Stoic walks a different path, and that path begins with self-acceptance. Comparison is the enemy of inner peace. Seneca said, "No man sets a value on himself, but each is content with the value that is placed upon him by others." That is the disease, letting your worth be decided by strangers, likes, or empty achievements. When you compare yourself to others, you hand over your soul. You break your own strength. You poison your focus. Stoicism teaches, judge yourself only by your own principles, not by the shifting shadows of the crowd. You are not supposed to be them. Nature doesn't repeat. You are not made to be like him or her or anyone else. Epictetus reminds us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Comparison turns you into a shadow of others, but Stoicism calls you to be a monument of yourself, grounded, purposeful, individual. You're not here to be a copy. You're here to become the truest, strongest version of who you already are. Self-acceptance is not weakness. It's power. Modern culture lies. It tells you, accept yourself means stay the same, stop growing. But the Stoic knows, true self-acceptance is not surrender. It is the beginning of transformation. You accept your starting point, not your limits. You accept your flaws, but never excuse them. You look at yourself with clarity, not judgment. Only when you see yourself clearly can you rise above the noise. How to stop comparing the Stoic way. Define your own standard. Others run races you were never meant to enter. Ask yourself, what does strength mean to me? What does success mean to me? Without your own definition, you'll always chase someone else's dream. Live by internal metrics. Seneca said, the wise man is content with himself. Let your measure be discipline, integrity, effort, not applause. Control what you can. You can't control their money, talent, or fame, but you control your will, your choices, your reaction. That is your kingdom. Detach from appearances. The Stoic doesn't chase status. He seeks substance. Appearances are fleeting. Strength of soul is forever. Reflect daily, end each day with a question. Was I better than I was yesterday? That's all that matters. Stand alone. Lead yourself. The strongest man is the one who no longer needs to compare. He doesn't crave validation. He doesn't chase approval. He knows who he is, and because of that he becomes a leader. Not of crowds, but of himself. Be that man. Final thought. Stop the comparison game. You will never win it, because it's built to make you lose. Instead, build a fortress within. Let others run in circles. You walk your path, with your eyes forward, with your values unshaken, and with your soul finally at peace. Stand still while the world runs. Everyone's running towards something, away from something, chasing illusions they don't understand. But the Stoic stands still, not because he is lost, but because he is centered. In stillness, we find power. In silence, we hear truth. And in the absence of comparison, we become ourselves. The crowd is loud, but the soul is quiet. Look around. The noise never stops. Notifications, algorithms, status games. Every second you're told you're not enough, not fast enough, rich enough, visible enough. But that's not reality. That's the trap. You don't need more. You need less. Less distraction, less noise, less chasing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." The war is not outside. The war is inside, between your values and the world's demands. Who are you without the mirror of others? If tomorrow the internet vanished and the world stopped watching, would you still train? Would you still think deeply? Would you still live with discipline? This is the Stoic test. Can you live without applause? Can you grow without attention? Because the Stoic doesn't exist to be seen. He exists to become. From comparison to creation. When you stop comparing, something powerful happens. You begin to create. You create your character. You create your path. You create peace within chaos. Comparison is passive. It is reaction. It is weakness. But creation is action. Creation is power. Creation is freedom. Define your inner law. The Stoic doesn't live by trends. He lives by law, his inner law. He doesn't ask, "What's everyone else doing?" He asks, "Is this in line with my purpose?" He doesn't follow the herd. He becomes the reason others change direction. You're not here to blend in. You're here to become unshakable. Self-acceptance is the foundation, not the ceiling. You are not finished, but you are enough to begin. Self-acceptance isn't the end of growth. It is the place growth begins. You don't need to hate yourself to change. You don't need shame to build discipline. You need honesty. You say, "I am here. I see myself. I accept this version, and I will rise from here." That is Stoic strength. Clarity without cruelty. Build in silence. Rise without permission. Let others seek credit. Let others seek validation. You build in silence. Because silence sharpens the blade. And when the moment comes, you cut through the noise. Your growth doesn't need permission. Your mission doesn't need applause. You don't need to be famous. You need to be formidable. The view from above, imagine the eagle. It does not flap like a sparrow. It doesn't chase crumbs on the ground. It rises effortlessly, with vision, with command. The Stoic is like that. While others panic, compare, and compete, he soars. Not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. He sees the battlefield below, but he is not dragged into it. He knows what matters, and that is enough. Final words. You cannot become great while constantly looking sideways. You cannot become free while your worth is chained to the approval of strangers. You want strength? Let go of comparison. You want peace? Let go of ego. You want power? Accept who you are, and build without noise. This is the Stoic path. This is the way of the few. This is the philosophy of unbreakable men. Let others run. Let them chase. Let them crumble under the weight of pretending. You walk. You breathe. You build. You become.